The greatest power you have is the ability to decide how you respond to life. And that starts with becoming aware of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Hello, I'm Fran, and you can find me on Instagram as Fran Diaz Leon _. And this is my new podcast, Decide Being, where you take control of your life by making conscious choices every day, and where you decide who do you want to be. So I will be sharing tools and insights that have helped me, but most importantly, I want to know about you. I want to know, where are you in your journey and what has helped in the past, because I'm sort of like a self-development geek and I love to listen to podcasts, interviews. I do therapeutic tarot, which helps my self-development as well. And I pretty much love everything that has to be about self-growth. So I want to know what has helped you that could help me, so we can create a community, a supportive community, and exchange ideas. So yeah, I'm going to start telling you how I got to this journey. And it was around 6 or 7 years ago. I would say, happy if you looked at my life from the outside, because I had a good career. I had a thriving Instagram of recipes. I had a good relationship. And we were actually planning to move to Australia, abroad. So I had plans for my life. And I thought that those plans were actually going to happen. But one day, and just as an anecdote, it was on my birthday, our relationship ended from his side. And that was hard. I felt like my world was crumbling around me because we were living together. So living arrangements were going to change, obviously. And we had a dog, which actually was his dog. But if you know anything about me, you would know that I care more about pets than humans. So that was super hard on me. It was my baby. And of course, our plans to move to Australia were shattered as well. So I felt sad. I felt angry. But mostly I felt lonely and empty. I realized that most of my life was revolving about us as a couple, and I wasn't taking care of my inner world. I wasn't taking care of my needs. I don't think I even knew which ones were my needs and if I was fulfilling them or someone was. It wasn't a thing. So I remember going to bed, and the bed felt huge, and it felt cold, and it felt like all the blankets in the world would never fill the hole that I was feeling inside myself. And then I realized this wasn't about him. This was about me gathering distractions like work and Instagram and partners and friends and party, just to avoid my inner struggles, just to avoid myself. And yeah, it was super hard. I don't know if you have ever been there, but it was difficult to say the truth to myself. So, because I noticed that I was allowing others to lead my way and where I was going, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to start this journey. I'm going to start from zero. And I got here and COVID happened like during that time. So I didn't even have time to get rid of my jet lag, and everything was closed. So I said, you know what? Life is just telling me this is the time that I have to start taking care of myself. So I have many desires for myself. I wanted to try to find peace. And I know that sounds like a huge thing, but I think my head wasn't being a nice place to live in. And I wanted to build a house inside my head that worked for me and not against me. And I wanted to know who I was, to figure out who I wanted to be, which values I wanted to have. I wanted to stop measuring my life from what I had on the outside, measuring my happiness from the things I had around me, and starting measuring my life on my own terms, but especially from the inside out. And ultimately, take control of my life. So I made a decision. I made a very important decision of making myself the priority of my life. I wanted to stop putting myself second. And if you come from Latin America, as me, you would know that this is very difficult because since you're growing up, you are taught that your family comes first, your parents come first, your friends come first. Like if you are struggling and you have visitors in your house, you just have to wash your tears away and put your best face and just like act like you're okay, because you have to take care of your visitors and they don't have to know that you're having a hard time. So that makes you think that your emotions don't matter, that you don't matter. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go out of that autopilot and say, I want to start making intentional, conscious choices that are aligned with who I want to be and that ultimately prioritize me, prioritize my well-being. So yeah, even though I was in therapy, and I'm a huge advocate of therapy, please do therapy. I think we all need therapy to get to know ourselves and to get tools. I noticed that therapy was once a week, 1 hour per week. And that wasn't gonna be enough to actually make a big change in my life, because I am with myself most of the time. I'm not with a therapist most of the time. So I understood also, and this was a breakthrough that changed my point of view, that I had to start leading the way. I had to start self-coaching myself to actually make the decisions that will serve me, instead of just keeping making the decisions that my automatic self kept doing and that weren't doing myself any good. So why am I sharing this to you? Because we are in our heads 24/7. And I think we don't spend enough time or energy working in our heads. Our heads are like houses. I have my own house, and my house can be a place to rest, relax, and be happy, or can be a place where I suffer and I'm judgmental and I criticize myself. I think we have to start being intentional about the change we want to have in our lives. And even though I'm still a work in progress and I have good and bad and very bad days, same as everyone else, I feel my house is becoming a safer place for me. And I feel like the most important tool that we have for this are the decisions we make on a daily basis, constantly. And if we make an intentional effort to align our decisions to where do we want to be, I think we can make big change. And once we change on the inside, the outside changes as well. Not because everything will be controlled by us, because that's impossible. I can't control where things happen outside, but I can control the way I experience those things. And that's on me, and that's on you. I wanted to come closer to you guys into a much more intimate setting for the end of this episode. First of all, to say thank you for listening and to stay until the end, pretty much. This is my first podcast and it's in English, so it's quite a challenge for me. And second, I want to give you a gift that is related to the therapeutic tarots that I do. The sessions that have helped so many people connect with themselves, with their intuition, and it can help you as well. So at the end of each episode, I will do a dynamic associated with these cards. Sometimes it will be like a small reading, but today it will be different. It will be about manifesting a card that will accompany us and will stay with us through this journey. And it's a beautiful card, and it's the strength. The strength, as you can see there, represents a woman that is taming or controlling a beast. The beast represents our shadows and the challenges we have in life. And as you can see there, she is facing her challenges through kindness, empathy, and love. She's not using force to tame the lion. She's using her heart, pretty much. And I want to invite you to do the same with your journey. And also, this card tells us that imagine that we have a jar of energy, this fire that we have inside us that help us go through challenges, and that it's a beautiful energy that we can use. We can decide to use it wisely to our favor and use all these qualities that she has with the lion with ourselves, or we can decide to use it against us, criticizing us, judging us, or playing the victim, feeling like the victim with the world. You have the decision. You decide who do you want to be. So again, thank you for listening. I hope this card resonates with you guys. And I really hope that you come again to listen to more episodes. I don't know even how to finish this episode, but I'm just gonna say thank you. I send you the best energies. And my name is Fran. You can find me on Instagram as Fran Diaz Leon _ and this was Decide Being. Much love for you all.